So I finished reading another Nancy Drew. This was called the Bungalow Mystery, which was a more action-packed story as compared to the other stories that I read, which were more uh, mind mysteries than action mysteries. This one, however, was a action mystery where even Carlson Drew was involved. Carlson? Carson. Who's Nancy Drew's father? Carson Drew. Yeah, I think so. I forget names. I read so many books, I forget names. So I'm not going to blame myself for forgetting names because why do you need to remember all these names when you're still going to read another book and the story will eventually die in your head? So a lot of action. This was a little different from the story that I usually read when I'm thinking of Nancy Drews, where it's all mind. This was different. There was another boyfriend, not Ned. So this is one of the first. I think it's the third book in the entire Nancy Drew series, and Bess and George were missing in here. Instead, we had Helen Corning, who was part of the story. So one of the first few works written where Ned and Bess and George are missing. But it was a good story. It was a good mystery, even if it was action packed. It was a little different from the usual Nancy Drews, but it was a good story. So, again, I'm not going to recommend or not recommend a Nancy Drew because these are childhood stories for me and they're just as good as Snow White or Cinderella or Beauty and the Beast and, you know, those kind of classics. So, can't say if you should or should not read a classic because you should always read a classic. They're always good books. And I am reading them after many, many decades still and enjoying myself. So I think that should be more than enough proof that you should read a book. So go ahead, give Nancy Drew a read. Just pick up any book. You will always just find yourself engrossed in the story, regardless of whatever book you pick up and wherever you pick it up from. Go ahead, give it a read. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, do that. Please subscribe to my channel because I'm going to come back next week with another book review and I will tell you all about it. Until then, you should stick around. Bye bye.